Hi everyone, it's Rhonda. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to do a flip through of the journal we were working on last time. She's all finished. Of course, I crowded her and made her real thick and chunky here. So several things had to come out, but they will be included when she goes to her forever home. And I have 2 people that are on the list that are interested. So if they decline to buy the journal, then I will offer it here on YouTube at a later date. So let's get to it. And she's still chunky, but that's okay. And I'll quickly go through here because you've seen most of it actually. I just wanted to say that I took my gold pen when I created this on this envelope. I took my gold pen and went around the edges here. I didn't know if you could see that, as well as the pencils, colored pencils on her dress. And so this is a ledger, antique ledger cover. And I'll go kind of fast because you've already seen most of this. Great copied picture, a scrap pad. I added some trim here. And in this lace pocket that I added are some pieces. This is a place to journal. And this is original ephemera from 1903. And then I added the colored swatches, watercolor swatches. And in the prior video, I linked where you can get this from Raindrop Lila. So another paper pad. I added this label. I added this antique piece of French document, and then a place to journal in here. Or you could actually store things in there. And this is what I had to remove. She looked so pretty there. It was just too thick. It's a super thick tag. And another label. And I think, yeah, this is a lace swatch tag. And then I added some lace here. And then here's another scrap pad. And then in this lace pocket, I added an antique book page from France and an original antique letter or document from France. And this old antique French photograph. And then here is another lace swatch, little collection. Another label. And then in the middle, I added these 2 little pockets with this trim I found, I think, on Etsy. It's just gorgeous. It's a great color. And then I added a place to journal note card right there, and some French ephemera. A little bit of French ephemera in there, original. A place to write. And in this pocket, this is probably why it's so thick, I added this old French photograph of this gentleman and one of my pocket letters. And then here is a little booklet that you can write in. I won't open it all up. And so I just thought I'd add those in there. Push him down a little bit more. Another note card. Some more trim up here. Another place to write or store things. Yeah, just a mixture of digitals and original book pages, French book pages. A great place to write. And I just love this little folio I created. This is the paper cameo image, and I just loaded it up with labels that I liked. So whoever purchases this can use them where they want. Can't get that on there. There. And then I adhered this to this page and added this lovely trim. And here is a photograph that I copied, and in a prior video I showed how I take postcards and I add the image I want on them. But this is the one that has the secret letter, the hidden letter. I'm pretending there's a letter, that this is a letter. Let's see if I can get it open. And then you open it up, and she slipped in her photograph. Yeah, I like that. But I did not come up with this idea on my own. I actually saw this, and I'll put that away with the string later. I saw this in a movie, in the film The Love Letter, with Kate Capshaw and Tom Selleck, and I think Ellen DeGeneres is her friend, or actually her employee. But it's such a cute story, and it's a comedy, and it's really, and that was in the film, and if you watch that film, you'll see. Here is another swatch, watercolored, and a lot of writing space. And we're getting to the end, and here is another paper scrap, and there we have it. And so these will also be included. Might take another thing out just to wrap up separately, because it's so full, so full. And I'm going to try to get that back on there. Here we go. Fun times. And I'll show you how I do that secret hidden letter. It's really an easy thing to do, but I promised I'd show, so I'll do that. And then I've got to add that back in. There we go. Okay, let me push that to the side. All I did was I took one of my favorite photos, which is this one that I found, and I took a postcard that I liked the back of it. Okay, and then you just glue it onto the original, and you may have to trim, but what you have to keep in mind is you're going to be slipping something in there, so you're going to want to leave space when you, and say this is the letter, okay? So you're going to glue and make sure you leave space. So we know we're not going to put it at the top, we're going to put it at the bottom. And then we're just going to glue over this top of this postcard and down the side, and go down as far as you can but leave room for the letter. Oops. Glue went on my desk. I said I'd never do that. I usually have a piece of paper down. Excuse me. Excuse me. All right, so we're going to have to trim, as you can see on the other side. Just trim. No biggie. I hope you're having a good day. I'm pre-recording because, like I've said in other videos, we have family coming, and I don't want to not be with them and be in here. Okay, garbage can. Okay, so that's laying down, and you're going to just let that dry a little bit, and then you're going to stick your letter in. And there's your secret letter. Now you can probably push it in there further. Yeah. Oh, and it's coming undone on this side. Yeah, it's fairly easy. I just need, you know, when you're recording and you really need to let things dry. There we go. But you get the gist of it. There's your secret letter. It keeps coming undone. But there's your secret letter, and it's a hidden letter. It could be a photograph, you know, whatever you choose to do. But it's really fun, and I was inspired by that movie. So there's that. Here's the journal. Here are some of the scraps and tags that are going to come with it. And I thank you for watching, and I hope that you have a great weekend. And oh, you can also put a stamp on it if it doesn't have one. I forgot to do that. Yeah, I had a stamp pulled out to put on there. But anyway, that's my hidden secret letter. In fact, I've made several of them. See? That one went in that one. Yeah, that's an image from Angie. Yeah. I made several of these. I love them. And just sitting here thinking about this journal, there are a couple more things that for the person who purchases it, that I always have a surprise in there that I don't show on camera. So anyway, that's it. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next week when I use this gorgeous fabric that I got. It's vintage and it's double-sided, but we're going to be working with this next Friday. So I will see you then, and have a good weekend. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.